You run one command against a server and wait for DNS, TCP, key exchange, authentication, and shell startup. Then git fetch does it again. Then rsync does it again. Then your deploy script does it 30 more times. Nothing is broken, but the job feels slow because every tool is paying the SSH setup cost from zero. SSH ControlMaster Multiplexing fixes that for systems you administer. Authenticate once, keep the connection warm, and let later SSH-based tools ride the same authenticated transport. ControlMaster is open SSH connection sharing. Instead of every SSH, SCP, SFTP, Git, or rsync process opening its own network connection, the first connection can become a local master. Later clients contact that master through a Unix domain socket on your workstation. If the master is alive, they ask it to open a new session to the same remote account and host. The result is not weaker authentication and not a cached password trick. It is reuse of an already authenticated SSH transport. The speed win is most visible when latency is high, when authentication is slow, or when automation runs many small commands. SSH already supports multiple channels inside one encrypted connection. A normal interactive shell is one channel. A command is another. Port forwarding, SFTP, and other session types are channels too. ControlMaster exposes that capability to separate local client processes. The first client opens the TCP connection and completes key exchange and authentication. It creates a control socket locally. The second client connects to that socket, not directly to port 22, and asks the master to open another channel. ControlPersist decides what happens when the first visible client exits. With the persist time, the master stays in the background, ready for the next command. Put this in your user SSH config, usually home.ssh.config. The install command creates a private directory for the control sockets. Also make sure home.ssh itself is mode 700, as shown in the description snippet. Host* applies this default to all hosts, though you can scope it to one host block if you prefer. ControlMaster Auto means use an existing master when possible, otherwise create a normal connection that can become the master. ControlPath names the local socket. %C is OpenSSH's hashed connection token, safer than long readable paths. ControlPersist 10 minutes keeps the master alive after your command exits. Here is the pattern. You connect once to a host with SSH host, uptime. That first run may take the normal amount of time because it is building the transport. For the next 10 minutes, git fetch against the same host and user can start almost instantly because git shells out to SSH and hits the control socket. rsync over SSH gets the same benefit. Your deploy script that copies files, runs a migration, checks status, and tails a log no longer performs full SSH setup for every step. Use SSH-O check host to ask the master whether the shared connection is alive. The control socket is powerful. If another local user can access it, they may be able to request sessions over your authenticated connection. Keep it under your account, inside a directory mode 700. Do not put ControlPath in a shared TMP directory. Also, watch path length. Unix socket paths have limits, and readable templates like cm-%r, @%h:%p can break with long host names. %C avoids that. For stale sockets, first try SSH-O, exit host. If the master is gone but the socket remains, delete stale socket files from your private CM directory and reconnect. This belongs in the SSH config toolbox. You can enable it globally, but I usually start with a host block for my own servers, jump hosts, and automation targets. It pairs well with proxy jump because the expensive path through a bastion can stay warm. It also pairs well with named host aliases, so Git remotes and rsync jobs use the same resolved user, host, and port. The boundary is important. Multiplexing optimizes legitimate administration. It does not bypass authentication, does not ignore host keys, and does not make bad network design safe. It simply removes repeated setup churn. 5-minute practice on your own machine or lab VM. Pick one server you administer. Add the ControlMaster block to /SSH config, using the private CM directory. Run time SSH host true. That first timing is your baseline. Run the same command again immediately. The second should be noticeably faster, especially over a remote link. Now run SSH-O check host and confirm the master is running. Try a git fetch or small rsync to the same host. Finally, run SSH-O exit host and repeat the timing test to prove the warm connection was the difference. 3 beats to keep. First, SSH multiplexing means one TCP connection and one authenticated SSH transport can carry many channels. Second, ControlPersist keeps that transport warm, so git, rsync, scp, sftp, and short admin commands stop paying full setup cost every time. Third, the local control socket is part of your security boundary. Use a private directory, prefer %C, and know how to check, exit, and clean stale sockets. Tomorrow we keep building practical SSH administration one topic at a time. New SSH episode daily on this channel, plus the daily ranked CVE brief.